What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. Episode 116. This mug you looking at right here is the face of Randy Little, the voice of Randy Little. If you want that audio only pod fixation. This episode is a mess. I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't have no locked in topic. Writer strike, actor strike, Comic-Con was gonna be a dud. There's some cool DC animation announcements, Walking Dead, we covered that. But it's kind of like catching up on the huge new releases that have come out recently. We talked Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. We talked Barbie. We talked Oppenheimer. And by we, I mean me, E-Sig, Rocket, and Nick G. Yeah, man. So, speaking of that, recently in the theater, we got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Came out on a Wednesday the 12th of July. And then, I want to say theater camp came out on the 14th, but, let's keep it funky, man. A theater camp came out in, 6 theaters. Not very campy, if you ask me. And this past weekend, we got Oppenheimer, we got Barbie. But also on Netflix, we got They Clone Tyrone. So, don't let the huge theater releases let you sleep on probably one of the better Netflix movies all year. I'll let y'all know when I see it. Upcoming, within the next 2 weeks, Haunted Mansion, the second adaptation of the Disney theme park ride, Haunted Mansion, comes out the 28th of July. I don't know if it has any competition. There's that Talk to Me horror movie. I don't care about that. Then on the 2nd, another Wednesday release, Paramount is putting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem out Wednesday, August the 2nd. And then Meg 2, The Trench, on the 4th of August. And then on physical media, the 11th of July, we got After Hours, Criterion, Scream 6, Sisu, Beau is Afraid. Looks like Mission Impossible Rogue Nation got a 4K Steelbook. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Book Club, The Next Chapter. Bruh, movie collectors went bankrupt on July 11th. And then July 18th, all that really came out was The Last of Us, the video game adaptation that HBO flipped into a TV show. Charlie Day's directorial debut, Fool's Paradise, also came out. Kandahar with Gerard Butler came out. So, I guess some stuff did come out last Tuesday. This upcoming Tuesday, looks like So I Married an Axe Murderer is getting a 4K. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014 4K. I don't know if these are first-time 4Ks. They're just 4Ks. Justice League War World, my anticipated pickup. The Owen Wilson movie Paint, where he practically plays Bob Ross, is also coming out on physical. All I'm seeing is a Blu-ray for that. And then on August the 1st, we got movies. We got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It looks like Ferris Bueller's Day Off is getting a 4K. Two Guns 4K. Big Lebowski 4K. An FX combo pack. No, thank you. About My Father. Robert De Niro. Sebastian Maniscalco. I wanted to see that and my theater didn't get it, so that's a blind buy. Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, myself and the regulars will be back in a couple seconds to talk your ear off. It's Rec League Podcast. And we back. It's normally Nick that's not ready, but for whatever weird ass, multiversal, variant ass reason, it's Rocket. I wanted to start off by covering Comic-Con, but we all knew that this was going to be like the worst Comic-Con ever. The only They showed the Invincible trailer was cool. I feel like there was another cool trailer on Thursday or Friday. But then the DC Animated announced a Watchmen movie for next year and a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie for next year. So that's got me hyped. Other than that, there was no big, like, actors are on strike, man. Like, and like every major studio was like, yeah, fuck Comic-Con this year.
They dropped some like Walking Dead stuff, if that counts.
Oh,
it was
that
kind of like
counts.
stuff new was coming anyway.
Yeah, what the Daryl show got a season 2. The Maggie Negan show got a season 2. They teased Rick and Michonne, right?
Well, the title of that one could be The Ones Who Live. It's not be called Rick and Michonne, which I think is a good call. That's a dumb title.
But normie, I'm just trying to relate to the normies. Normies are just gonna call it Rick and Michonne.
Yeah.
Rishon.
That's why I call it. Clearly called Dead City. Dead City's pretty good. I don't know if we need a season 2. It doesn't really make sense to keep putting them together. But I'll watch it. Fuck it. Season 1 is pretty fun. It's only 6 episodes long.
I'll watch it by 2029.
Yeah. They'll still be making them.
For sure.
Still be milking it. But that's the only thing that's come that I've really given a shit about. Yeah, maybe like Invincible. Maybe.
I feel like there was a trailer I was gonna bring up.
The Exorcist.
Trash. That one. Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Trailer. I heard people saying they saw the Exorcist trailer in front of Oppenheimer, but I didn't see it.
I did.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, fuck you guys. Somebody said they went and saw it and they played the Pope Exorcist trailer in front of it.
Oh man, come on. You're gonna make me spit on the electronics. Fuck. I don't know why. Like, I love the Holdovers trailer.
It was a good trailer. I forgot to share it. Nobody cares. But I didn't know Alexander Payne had a new movie coming.
Yeah, don't make fun of me this week when I post like all his old shit because I just went to eBay and was like, dude, I want to watch his old movies.
Yeah, he's one of those directors that really doesn't miss. Like when I like re-looked at his filmography and I was like, should I do like a rewatch real quick? And I was like, oh yeah, all these.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, downsizing was fine, but I haven't seen anything else he's done. So
really,
that wrong is gonna get right because I feel like when it comes to like pretentious filmmakers and like filmmakers, you know what I'm saying? Like there's your Wes Andersons, your PTAs, and like Alexander Payne might be like a level below that.
He's up there. Most of his movies, tend to be in the Oscar discussion. Attendance, I loved.
Well, sorry, Paul Giamatti, because Cillian Murphy's got that on lock.
Oh wow. But I like one movie in particular that Alexander Payne wrote. A lot of people don't.
Jurassic Park 3. Really?
So, I thought you were gonna say, "Aren't you Chuck and Larry?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He also covered it. And I was like, "Why did you do that?"
Wow.
Oh man, Nebraska was pretty good.
Did not think you were gonna say Jurassic Park 3.
He probably wrote the fucking dream scene. Alan.
No shit. So I guess we just jump in. We're kind of like I didn't have like a locked in topic for this episode. We're kind of freestyling. So Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. If you haven't seen it, go away because spoilers are inbound. It's up to the three of you to convince me why it's not the second worst, not second worst, but second weakest in the franchise. Go ahead.
Okay. Now go ahead, Nick. After you.
Because it kicked ass. Because it was awesome.
You had it ranked second best.
Yeah. Because there were multiple times in the movie when I was watching it, and I was like, this isn't as good as Fallout. Like I was like, this is a little sillier. And then it would hit like one of the action, like the sequences. Like there's action all throughout, but like one of like the the set pieces where they're like, okay, we're gonna throw this train off the mountain and see what happens. It would get to one of those, and I'd be like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. This is pure cinema, and nothing is better. Everything else sucks compared to this. But then, like, so I went back and forth with it more times than I did rewatching the other ones. Like, at no point watching Rogue Nation, even though Rogue Nation's great, at no point when I was, like, watching it was I like, this is better than Fallout. This is the best one. Like, I didn't have that with the other ones. I did it more than once with Dead Reckoning. But then at the end, I kept thinking of, like, the story was way sillier overall.
Yes.
Like, it was, like, goofier. The whole thing where it was like, this little key is basically God, and you have to fight God, and we have to pick someone from your team to die. Like, it was like a little goofy. It might have been the goofiest one since number 2.
For sure.
But I enjoyed it more than 2, for sure.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, the next one comes out, but right now I've got it ranked really high.
I know somebody said with the spoilers, right?
Yeah.
With the train sequence when it's hanging off the mountain and they're going from car to car. I can't take credit for this. My cousin was like, man, this movie did Uncharted better than Uncharted.
For sure. For sure.
That, like, watching it, I don't know if it's really a knock. It might be kind of a knock. It's like there were multiple things in it that I was like, I've seen this happen in recent movies. This is doing it better. But, like, there were multiple things that, like, had just been done in Indiana Jones, like, a couple weeks earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is better. Because, like, I thought Haley Atwell's character was very similar to Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character in Indiana Jones. And people, like, hated on her character, but they loved Haley Atwell's character. I was like, they're kind of the same.
I love them both.
Yeah, I love them both, but they do the same thing. Like, I saw a lot of people saying, like, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, like, she was so annoying. Cared about was money, and then, like, they would do something, and then she would flip the script and turn on them and steal something or something like that. And I'm like, Haley Atwell did that 20 times.
Multiple times.
They're in a car chase. She's like, oh, we're in a car chase together. And the next thing you know, she, like, unhooks herself and runs away. And she's like, sorry. And it's like, that was Indiana Jones. That happened, like, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But like you said, one of the movies does it better.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like I said, car chase. I mean, even the car chase. You look at, like, they're in a car chase, setting up a car chase through a city, and they have to get in a little tiny car. It's like, that's what they did in Indiana Jones, and they're just racing streets. It's also kind of what they did in Fast X, racing through the streets.
Yes.
But it was still better. It was like the best car chase out of all of them. It had better car chases than Fast X.
Shame on you, Vincent Diesel.
Let me ask y'all this.
I mean, Mark Sinclair.
I had a question about all of the movies that they do this for. I think they've done it since part 1.
All of the movies.
Don't like Mission Impossible. To a degree, I kind of like probably look away or something. The opening credits.
It always shows the movie. I noticed that during this recent rewatch. Yeah. The opening credits for every Mission Impossible shows you highlights of what you're about to see.
Yeah, but that's a nod to the TV show. But okay, we get it. But still, it's I could do without that. You know.
I agree.
Here's all your spoilers that you just bought a ticket for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
But another question.
And another thing.
Before the strike, had they started filming part 2?
I believe so.
I don't know. I thought about that. I was like,
Eric, did you hear the Simon Pegg Smart List?
Oh, did I? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So he said they started filming Dead Reckoning Part 1 in like 2021, and
a minute ago
they were working on 2. They had their press promotion, whatever, like July, August, and they were going to start back up to finish Part 2 in August. Not anymore.
Yeah, that was. I don't know, and that's another thing. That's crazy how booked how booked Smartless must be. Those interviews that are new to us are as old as 3 months ago.
Yeah. Like they'll mention shit like Sean Hayes and his stage play, his Broadway show.
Yeah.
And I'll be trying to like pinpoint, so like maybe this was recorded here, because there was one, like I'm like halfway through the Tom Holland episode. It's like multiverse of podcasts right now, but
because somebody mentioned the Super Bowl in like one of the more recent episodes, and
it was like the Kaylee Cuoco episode or somebody, and it was like Arnett's birthday, so it was like recorded like beginning of May or something.
Yeah, like Nick and Rocket, y'all really should be listening to the show. Y'all like
I did watch go.
I was gonna say, when I was watching the show and Nick said how funny it was, I told him it's the best podcast that we're not on.
So maybe
which was that one?
Smartless. So Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, Will Arnett. It's great.
I'll check it out.
That show had me rolling when they were ordering food. He was on the phone. That shit was so stupid.
No, bro. With Bateman was like, he was on the desk with one of the clerks talking about like Arnett and all the shit he needed. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Anyway. But anyway.
So.
Anyway.
Back to the mission.
But yeah, what's the word? I guess, I don't know, if nobody else have anything to say, we'll segue into the now actors and writers strike.
I would like to hear Rocket's thought on Dead Reckoning, fool.
Yeah. Rocket, you liked it?
No. I apologize. I'm still waking up. I'm here, but my mind is still in bed. So at first, I'll be honest with you, when I was watching, I was like, this movie is solid. It's great. And then when Rebecca Ferguson died, it went from an 8 to a 1. I was like, no way. No way. I was upset. Highly upset.
I don't think she's dead.
I don't think she's dead. I hope not. But I think Fallout, I still think is the top. I can see this being in maybe my third or fourth spot, though. Because I think it goes Fallout, Rogue Nation, and that's where things get, convoluted for me. I think out of the 7 so far, 7 is Mission Impossible 2. But at the end of the day, it's between basically 3, 4, 5, 6. Like anyone's could flip flop. Number 3 is highly underrated. And that's the thing, because I have problems with, do I put that in front of Ghost Protocol? I find those, depending on day of the week, they can flip flop for me.
I still have 3
but
in
I honestly
second.
think Dead Reckoning might be like either 5th or 6th.
My man.
Because my thing is was it good? Yes, it was solid entry, and like certain movies, certain franchises, something has to be at the bottom, whether it's good or not. Even there's entries or franchise where all the movies are good, and it's something just has to be.
John Wick.
John
exactly.
Wick.
Something has to be at the bottom. So I think
it's okay that it's the 4th one.
Yep. For part 1, I think it's pretty solid. The way they ended it was pretty good. Let's see what part 2 brings, though.
I'll see it. I can see it.
Was that a
moving?
sneeze?
Mm-hmm. But I felt like watching this, it was trying to live up to Fallout. It was trying to be. It wasn't just like Fast and Furious, where it got to a point where they were like, let's just make another one that people wanted.
Even though they were about to blow up the bridge the exact same way.
Yep.
Yeah. Big bomb. And I heard everybody in the theater go, oh. And I was like, now, y'all didn't do that.
Where were y'all in May?
Yeah, you didn't do it. When the Fast X did it, it was over the top and silly.
Yeah.
But we buy it from Mission Impossible because we've been doing it for over 25 years.
To be fair, in Fast X, those bombs were just a tad bit little gigantic.
Yeah.
Get those
cartoons.
Also, bro, S.I. Morales was such a cooler villain than Jason Momoa, but Jason Momoa knew what movie he was in.
Yeah.
He went to the Acme Looney Tunes store and bought bombs from Wile E. Coyote.
TNT.
Out of the Hoover Dam.
200 pounds of TNT.
But
Yeah,
y'all,
the $1 million question is, Tom Cruise did his crazy stunt with the bike off the cliff in part 1. Is there something coming in part 2 that he's going to do? Or is that all part of the whole thing? So,
Maybe they don't put it in the trailers this time.
yeah.
There's a whole thing. I was watching Avatar. There was a whole thing before Avatar, and they were like, and now a special look. And it wasn't a special look. It was just that. Like, we're doing the craziest thing we've ever fucking done. And everybody was like, why does he do this?
Are we, though?
That. It was like, oh,
and
okay.
shout out to the good CG that hardly gets mentioned, because behind the scenes it's obviously a ramp he's driving up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then in the movie it's the mountain. I'm like, it's seamless.
Yeah.
And I do love that, like, when he does these things, like, I think that's what makes in Ghost Protocol, when he climbs the building, what makes that good. It's like anybody can do that. Well, then not everybody can do that. But, like, Mission Impossible 2, it just shows him climbing a mountain for, like, no fucking reason. And it's like easy. The Burj Khalifa thing is great because the whole time he's doing it, the vibe is like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? Like, he's got the gloves and they fall, and he's like, you're running out of rope. He's like, no shit. Like, everything about this sucks. And I felt like that with the bike. It was still good because he's just riding the bike and he's talking to Benji and he's like, what the fuck am I doing? And he's like, no, you're good. Just keep driving.
Yeah.
And God damn it. I hope they keep doing that. Like, making it feel like Mission Impossible, and then they look at the camera and go like that.
That's kind of what I'm knocking it for. Dead Reckoning Part 1 was kind of another Ghost Protocol where nothing worked, and
even a sandstorm,
right? And it's like the Burj Khalifa shit was brilliant. It had, like, if you don't do this, the mission's over. We failed.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with this. Like, he had to make it to the train. But it's like the mask machine was fucking up. He ran out of road, like, and then he, like, had to crash into the train, like, literally crashed into the train.
I loved that. Like, I was like, land on top of the fucking train,
fine.
And it's like, no, he went, like, crashing into it. Like, you almost forgot because the other scene was happening. You were like, oh, there he is. Like, I like that. I was like, at least it's not like
Haley Atwell makes everything better, by the way.
It's not about second thing. I think we mentioned that like she dies early in the movie, sort of, and then it's like fake, and then she died again.
That's Rebecca Ferguson, sir.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Oh, well, you cut out, so I didn't hear that.
Whatever.
Neither did the audience.
I feel it kind of lessened a little bit, like, her actual death, assuming she is actually dead. It sort of lessened that a bit. But also, I don't love that it was like, okay, she died. And then immediately the next Haley Atwell gets inducted into the crew. I was like, you can't, it feels like it's like you can't have two women. You can have like 5 dudes that but you cannot have one woman on the team. Otherwise, Tom Cruise has to sleep with one of them, and we can't do that. The vibe. And I was like, I don't love this. I feel like they both could have been on the team.
Yeah.
And, like, at the end, Palm Clementif is, like, kind of switched allegiances. I feel like she could be on the team.
Has she, though?
She saved him on the train pretty bigly. Better.
I don't trust her.
I don't trust her either.
She's a badass and stole, like, every scene she was in, but I don't trust her.
Counter argument, though. She's really the top. I trust.
Sustained.
My whole thing is this too, is I know we've all heard this with the Academy, or not the Academy, just actors in general, that there should be a award given out for stunts.
Tom Cruise would win every year. That's not fair.
Well, it's not. It's. I think if they do it, it should be as a crew because I know he did that jump numerous times, and even though it's on a ramp, remember he still got to get his way up onto that ramp. Any pebble, rock hits that tire the wrong way, man. That's. I mean, you know how perfect they had to do that over and over and over again just to do that stunt.
Yeah.
But also, I agree with you, Nick. Like I said. I think the movie's great, but I also agree with Randy on this part is when Haley Atwell was in trouble on the train, and that train sequence was fantastic, it was too coincidental that he was going to crash in just when she was going to get shot. Like, you could see that coming from a while because, remember, he's trying to, where do I land? And then you don't see him for a good couple of minutes. So you already knew, A, she wasn't going to die, and B, Tom Cruise is going to come smashing into that at that moment. But I do agree with you, Nick, in the sense of with Rebecca Ferguson, during the sandstorm, the fake death. At first, I'm like, oh, they're not going to kill her this early.
Yeah.
But then the way he was telling the story, I was like, oh, maybe she did die. All these scenes are flashbacks, but it doesn't make any sense because in the trailer, it doesn't look that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, give and take. I hope she does come back, but then also if she does, even though it sucks that supposedly she died in this, if she does, then it's what are we in the MCU? It's like but he's coming back. It's just
Fast and Furious.
He's Han.
Yeah, I don't trust Kittredge either.
Killing her off to me, just in general, is kind of a. Not great, considering how much she stole Rogue Nation. Because I remember when that came out, she was not like super well known, and she kind of, it was just like one of those things. She had the dress, and she lifted the leg, and it was the collective response was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And it was like, next thing in a lot of things, and then she was in Fallout. She was great in that. So I feel like it's kind of like a step to take her out of the frame, unless she wanted to be gone. Which is always possible.
Yeah.
Still, I thought the movie was great. I thought it was great, and the people I saw it with thought it was great. That doesn't always happen. It didn't happen for The Flash. It didn't happen for Fast 10. There was not like a crowd, I don't know, energy. So I hope they keep making them. I was saying it was like this, that came out like the day after. I saw it the day after my 33rd birthday, and the first one came out when I was 6.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
what's that?
Eric wants to talk about baseball strikes or something or other.
Nah, or before, I guess one more Mission Impossible thing. I think it's one thing we can agree on about the series.
Nope.
You're gonna feel bad after this.
Nah.
Happy birthday to Philip Seymour Hoffman, who would have been 56 today.
Yeah.
And
still the
probably
best villain in the franchise.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, he is like. Are we calling Cavill the Fallout villain?
Well, he was the name, but technically he was working for Old Boy, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah. So it was still.
He's a glorified henchman.
Yeah. So the Rogue Nation and Fallout had the same villain. I'm blanking on names, but he's solid. He's not like a household name, but he was really good. I'd call him 2. Like they gave him 2 movies to, do his thing, but he's still not as good as Philip Seymour Hoffman.
No. Nah.
I would say S.A. Morales though he's pretty solid.
I'd give him 3rd.
Yeah. He was good. I felt, and again, maybe they're doing a part 2, so it's like whatever. I don't think they like drove home him and Ethan's connection enough.
I think they're gonna show that whole flashback in the second part.
Yeah,
I agree.
What was that like? His wife
that we don't know
killed, or like his girl or whatever. That girl got a poster for Dead Record.
Yeah, she got a character poster.
Because I was looking back at the character posters that I posted. I just kind of picked some random ones to fill it out.
Hey, she's cute.
Jay Wiggum and put her in, just because I was like, oh, it's another girl. Cool. And like I just put her in, and I was like, who is that? And I like looked at the poster.
So hot.
And then I went and looked on Wikipedia, and it took me a while to figure out. I was like, oh, that's just the girl from the flashback that we don't really see.
Yeah. Dude, what's the God's Eye? What's the fucking machine called?
Entity. The entity.
The entity? Yeah. How did I forget that?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like this thing is scared of Ethan. And this and this. I think because of the past between Ethan and S.A. Morales is done in the next movie. They'll probably have like one like really good sequence or whatever, where I think the entity's gonna take him out because he's gonna be Ethan can turn him, so he's got to go or something.
I don't know. It's kind of silly.
like the movie wasn't.
I'm waiting for it to be the wizard from Wizard of Oz, man. Messing around with it, so it's like
it's silly.
Plot twist.
But it's still good. I'm hoping it doesn't get to like the Fast and Furious point where it's like, Jesus, they're in space. It's like, Jesus, he's fighting God. But
Tom Cruise is working on a movie in space.
Kind of goofy.
It could be a Tears of the Sun thing. Like they wanted Tears of the Sun to be Die Hard, and Bruce Willis like flipped the script. This space movie that Tom Cruise is working on could turn into a Mission Impossible 11.
So, be like, wait, what are we doing? Are we just redoing James Bond?
Well, first break. I don't know. Y'all can decide where Barbie or Oppenheimer or Boppenheimer or Oppenarby. what y'all want to do?
I want to talk about The Flash.
And how it's not in any theaters anymore. My theater doesn't have anything released before July now.
Dang.
Little doing 1 or 2 showings a day at most of my theaters. I think that's about it. That and Spider-Man are still around.
Nah. Indiana Jones is gone. Ruby Gillman's gone. No Hard Feelings is gone. We got the oldest movie we got now is Joyride.
Joyride is gone for most of mine.
Yep. It lasted 2 weeks. That was it.
People missed out because that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks that they just smacked that where they put it.
That's what should have been scheduled against Oppenheimer.
We could have had No Hard Feelings versus Joyride thing.
Because Joyride was better.
It was. But anyway.
So we've all seen Barbie? Or Rocket, you're watching it tonight?
I'm watching it tonight.
Okay, well, everybody dies.
I'm good with that. I like movies like that.
Heroish.
So I guess no spoilers if we're going to talk Barbie.
Are there really spoilers in Barbie? It's like, are there really?
I mean, like, I didn't like feel comfortable talking about anything specific in my review.
Yeah.
I will say this. I will say when it's come to Barbie, like I said, I stay off Twitter. I mean, it's a Barbie movie, but I heard it's very, it's pro-woman, which is great. But I hear some people say sometimes they beat you over the head with this. Some people say no, it's in good taste, it's in good fun. They say Michael Cera's fantastic in this. Like I'm hearing different things about it. So like me, you got to go in when you see movies like that. Check your EO after doing, just enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Eric, you played with Barbies growing up. Did the Michael Cera character, did he only have one doll made? Period?
What was he, Alan?
I think so.
Alan, that's what I heard. That's his character, Alan.
So I looked it up, and basically, that's for real.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
And he's dressed exactly like the doll, the clothes it had on.
That's funny. All right, that's funny. That's comedy. I sort of remember Pregnant Barbie, but I guess it was just Midge was the one. And that shit was hilarious. Like every time the girl saw her and he went, ah!
I thought you were discontinued.
Yeah, but without spoiling, well, I guess, and speaking of Michael Cera, you gotta give him credit. That's throughout his whole career, which is like it's 20 years plus now, right?
Yeah, Arrested Development. Yeah,
If there were ever an actor who knew what his role was and doesn't have a
For
problem
sure.
with it, and he does, and he has some funny scenes in the movie.
for sure.
Yeah. I was
But
sorry, dudes.
but I want to speak of one actor in the movie without giving away too much, and I liked what his storyline was. Ryan Gosling as Ken.
Scene stealer Ryan Gosling. I've heard of him.
Now, oh my God. So there's one category I want to talk about with both movies we're going to talk about. The Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Best supporting actor.
And if the Academy will get that stick out of their butts about comedies, I think what Ryan Gosling did in this movie is deserving of the least conversation.
I think the Greta Gerwig factor will get him in the discussion.
And I hope so, because man, it was this is hilarious. Like
Yeah.
I was about to say the phrase. I can't say the phrase because I don't want to spoil. I'm sorry.
I've been hearing that he was underused a little bit.
Gosling?
Yeah.
No.
Don't do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some people saying this, some people saying that. Some people wish there was more Ryan Gosling. So
Him and Margot Robbie were both brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're probably saying that because they liked what he did. I wanted to see more.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I thought Margot
Yeah.
Robbie was great too. It was like a lot of the early word was like, "Oh, Ryan Gosling is this performance of his career." It was like,
Is it though?
it would have been enough for Margot Robbie to just be cast as Barbie and just kind of not do much, just be like, look at her, she's Barbie. She's great in the movie. But you compare to the last movie she did was fucking Babylon.
I loved her in Babylon too.
Yeah. It's like, are we taking Margot Robbie for granted because she's like the most beautiful human being on the planet that we're just like, oh, look at Margot Robbie, she's Barbie. It's like, no, but this is a great performance for Margot.
Yes.
And I like that they made a joke about that. Y'all know when I won't say it.
Yeah. It was.
People were boring last.
It's a self-aware movie.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Also, if we're going about giving out maybe some nominations, like I said, I've only seen Oppenheimer, but if Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., and Cillian Murphy don't get at least recognition or even nominated, something's wrong.
And Remy Malek and Dane DeHaan and Jason Clarke and Casey Affleck.
And no. Let's speak about that. God, dog, all these people that they didn't advertise.
That's why I try to inject it into my like Letterboxd review because like I push record on YouTube and I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just trying not to spoil the movie. But is there a better ensemble ever? Like, I don't remember what we was talking about within like the last like 2 or 3 months, but this could be one of those like one scene, 5 minutes of screen time, like nomination discussion movies.
I mean, even Rami Malek. I mean, it's funny because Rami Malek shows up in a certain part of a movie. He's like the assistant. Doesn't say a word. I'm like,
yeah, he doesn't talk.
He don't talk. I'm like,
until that last hour.
Academy Award winner, not saying anything. I was like, all right. Then they show him again. I'm like, oh, he's gonna say something now. Doesn't talk again. I'm like, what's going on? But then he blows it off.
I was about to say he had a lot to say in that last hour though.
Yeah. There's a character who's in the trailer, and y'all probably know this. Now go ahead, Randy.
Listeners, viewers, we not spoiling Barbie. My man Rocket has not seen it. We are spoiling Oppenheimer. If you have not seen that shit, fuck off.
And it won't even be spoiled. Just the little things we were talking about.
Jerry Seinfeld is in Oppenheimer.
Newsflash, it happened. They did it.
Yeah. But who's this character, this actor is in the trailer, every single trailer. And I didn't realize who the actor was. I'm like, get the heck out of here.
Wait, what?
And I don't know if it was a fat suit or really him who gained the weight.
Benny Safdie?
No, David Krumholtz.
Oh, Krumholtz. Yeah, for sure.
It has to be because he just did Santa Claus, the TV series on Disney.
I was looking at him when like he meets Oppenheimer. Like, damn, buddy, put on some pounds.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not him, but boy, that is him.
That's him.
Am I the only one that remembers he was on that show Numbers? Maybe like
Oh
you
yeah,
hear?
yeah. He was
on
And
that. Yeah.
he was like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like he was like hot. Like he was in like The Sexiest Man Alive and all that stuff. Like he's hot Krumholtz. For watching that, and being like,
I like Randy's reaction.
What?
Stupid.
Is this like still Jewish 10 Things I Hate About You, David Krumholtz?
Yeah. Hard from the Santa Claus, but it was like a thing.
Is
That
this
show
the neighbor from Harold and Kumar talking about eating wieners?
Yeah, I remember it. I'm not making that up in my head. But anyway,
No, you're right because I watched that show and he was a thing when that show was out.
he had like long hair. It was like, ooh, the hot physicist or whatever. And I was like, Fromholtz?
Yeah, they always every show like that. Those police procedure always have the young hot guy and they tried to make him that and
I think
Randy's like,
on for Randy's questioning his whole life right now.
Yeah. I've never heard David Krumholtz. The guy taking it back. The guy that forced Michael Cera to sing in Superbad.
This is
wow.
You're not gonna sing for him.
Referred to as attractive.
Hey, and I'm not saying he's not hot now. That's not for me to say.
It might be.
But I don't know. I didn't. It was a lot. I didn't know that. I probably heard that Josh Hartnett was going to be in a movie, and
he was great in the movie.
I dare you to find an actor that's not in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and like Randy said, they gave Benny Safdie a meaty role.
Yeah.
And he wasn't just in it.
And like everybody, it's like Casey Affleck. What was the one scene? He got to eat in that one scene. It was like, we're gonna give you one, but it is pivotal to the story.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have to be kind of creepy.
Whatever.
And like really lay into your role. And he's like, no, I got you. I have an Oscar.
Yeah.
Say less.
You're right.
But even my guy Tony Goldwyn is in it, and probably not many people know who Tony Goldwyn is, and he's the main guy in that room. That okay, we're gonna make this decision.
No.
And
The security clearance board.
Yeah, when he was talking, you listen. That's the thing is in this movie, Alex Wolff is in it. I mean, it's everybody got.
Jack Quaid.
I just couldn't do it. I mean, like everybody was in it.
There were people.
Everybody was.
Look at this list, and I saw some people, and I was like, oh, I didn't see him in there. But
Yo,
like Jason Clark.
Jason Clark was getting it.
I feel like the direction was like, all right, you're in a couple scenes. You maybe got 10 minutes total of screen time. You need to eat action. Like I feel like that was the direction.
Jason. No one's seen you since Planet of the Apes. We need you to do it.
Like,
There's a saying, and I'm sure y'all have heard it. There, old school saying about acting. I guess there are no small parts, only small actors.
All right, Roger.
This is the movie that like drives that home. Like this will forever, like the Will Smith like on the red carpet meme, like exhibit it.
Right, and there you go.
Gary Oldman is in one scene.
Oh man!
Don't let that crybaby back in here.
Yeah.
Bro, he killed him when he left. But it's like, bro, like, how nobody can understand. Like, this dude made a weapon of mass destruction that killed hundreds of thousands. Like, of course he feels a way. Bro, fuck the president.
So, man, we're talking about all these actors. Unless there was a sneaky cameo over the phone or on the radio, which it probably is. This is the first movie.
Michael Caine.
Yeah. Right?
That's like name an actor who wasn't in Oppenheimer.
Michael Caine.
Like he did on Dunkirk. He was on the radio. But technically still in the movie. It's some sneaky cameo. Yeah. He's in there somewhere. We just haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But
so how about that Matt Damon?
Oh yeah, we all this talking. We looked over him.
And that's another guy right there who's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Between this and Air, like
he's had a good year.
Doing really cool, like, and that's something like every performance in Oppenheimer was cool. It was like Emily Blunt hasn't gotten to have like a really cool performance in a while. Like even Quiet Place, she's great in those movies. It's still kind of like, all right, you got to show up for your horror sequel. All right, here's Jungle Cruise. You got to show up. It's like those are kind of like the one for me, one for them that they talk about. It's like those. She's been doing one for them roles for like a few years, and I just feel like everyone that was in this, even like the people that were in tiny little roles, like they all did this because they wanted to do it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
but he was a name. And this was kind of everybody's like one for them, even though it was a giant studio movie. Everybody was like, "Yes, I get to do real cinema."
Yeah.
Did y'all
What's
did y'all catch the dude who inspired Walter White was played by the goofy dude from Army of the Dead?
Yeah, he played Heisenberg.
The real
Matthew,
Heisenberg.
Forget his name.
Schweihofer.
Yeah, but it's like you know him. It's like we need a really like
A real German. Yeah.
looks German. If that's even a thing, we need a dude who looks German. And it was like, there is the German guy.
Call Zack Snyder.
And my argument for RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., winning, take away all of his scenes in the movie and leave that last scene he's in.
Fantastic.
When he's talking to the guy, and the guy was like, maybe they were talking about something other deep, something more important. That scene.
That whole portion of the movie, like that shit was such an evolution. Cause it's like Oppenheimer was like at the hearing or whatever, and he makes his quips. And like at first it seemed like Downey was kind of like laughing about it. But then it just builds and builds and builds into how Downey's character was like so butthurt, and that was his agenda to like get his clearance and shit denied to set him up with Jason Clarke and all that shit. Like that last hour like was worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, that was like, because as he was a lot of the buzz I had heard was how Robert Downey Jr. was so great in the movie. And as it was going on through most of the movie, I was like, he is great. I was like, everybody's great in this. I was like, maybe most of the praise is just coming from the fact that he's not doing Tony Stark anymore. Like even in his stuff,
especially after Doolittle.
Yeah.
God.
Or you watch that movie like The Judge that he did a few years ago.
He's really good in The Judge.
Yeah, it is.
Good. He's still kind of doing his Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark. Like,
for sure.
And that's the thing, yeah.
Maybe that's where the praise is coming from in this, that he is leaning away from that so much. Then that last maybe 45 minutes, hour, his character really starts to kind of unfold, and it's like, wait, this is the best performance he's ever given, maybe. Holy shit, wait.
And you know something, and I'm glad you brought that up, Nick. I think it's a fact, we definitely got spoiled with Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
For sure.
I think so much spoiled that we forget that he's doing a really good job acting as Tony Stark. And I think his best performance as Tony Stark is in Infinity War. And one of my favorite scenes is when he's talking to Doctor Strange about going to Titan. And Doctor Strange is trying to figure out how they're going to get home. And there's this moment when he's like walking back and forth thinking, Robert Downey Jr., and watch that, you'll see like a lot of actory stuff that he's doing, but you're not really noticing. And even Robert Downey Jr. himself said people confuse him with being Tony Stark. He said Tony Stark is an A personality and I'm really a B personality.
Yeah.
And it's hard to we have a hard time separating the two. And I think that's kind of
motherfuckers act like he wasn't like a part of the Brat Pack era, played Charlie Chaplin, like had a whole fucking career before Iron Man.
Right. And I'm glad Tropic Thunder is in there in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just
that's still my favorite performance from him.
Yeah. It's so layered, people forget. Every time people, and y'all know this, people try to like every other year, people try to cancel that movie.
Ben Stiller, fuck you.
It's not going to happen because it's so layered. There's context to the satire that's going on. It's not just Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface. That's not what it is.
Oh, bro. That character was so caught up in what the fuck did he say to Einstein? Einstein didn't even look at me. Alden Ehrenreich, whose character doesn't even have a name. That reveal was so dope. Maybe they were talking about something a little more important, and then they revealed the conversation. That shit was so good.
Yep. And that's the brilliance of Nolan, like you were saying, when it comes to Robert Downey Jr. that last hour, 45 minutes to an hour, I felt like we saw two movies in one. For the first
We
2
did.
hours, it was Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer. That last hour, it was all about RDJ's character and how it all came together. And I think it was so seamless
Facts.
that the way it was transitioned, it was like, you know, he's being villainized. I mean, granted, he's like they said on that part where they had the Time magazine, the father of the atomic bomb, you know. And,
Yeah.
And the sad thing about it is, the point that I think people miss is when he made the bomb, he was trying to use this as a tactic for peace. Look, we have this weapon. We'll let the world know, but we want to keep peace. And I think that's the part people are missing. It's like the Titanic. When people, you already know what happened to the Titanic. It sank, but people went to see it. It's how it happened. That's why people come to see this. How did this all come and evolve into, you know, the atomic bomb and the sound editing, the sound mix, the cinematography.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic. And by the way, I got 2 words for you.
Suck it.
You know,
You said
Orange
it out, man.
Pew. That's all I got to say.
You know, some, yeah. We'll let do it.
Penny for your
man.
thoughts, Nick?
Yeah. It was tasteful. It was tasteful.
But no, but that's what I'm saying. Even her scenes.
She's
you know,
great.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
But I'm
Again,
sorry. No, go ahead.
It doubled
No,
down on his backgrounds and affiliations and all that shit. It was necessary.
And whatever this person, I'm not gonna say this person's name. We were talking off air. They said the characters were unlikable. The movie is presenting him as a flawed character.
Yeah.
Get out of here. You know, he's cheating. It happened. It's not a spoiler. You know, infidelity and numerous things. Come on.
And he owned all of it.
But that's saying like it's like 20 minutes into the movie before there's even a woman, and then when that happens, there's a sex scene, and it's like, okay, I hear you. That is also the point of the movie.
Welcome to the 1930s.
Yeah.
20s. Didn't they meet in the 20s?
In the film.
Yeah, and it's something great in every Nolan film.
The
Rocket
movie?
was talking about sound editing. I'm on the actual film editing.
Yeah.
I did something as I think most people did. In the trailers and the commercials, we see this one particular scene where Einstein is by the pond and his hat comes off. And that scene is in color. Then if something happens in the movie, we see it differently, like, And then something else happens and it comes back around to the opposite point of view, which is in color.
That's what I wanted to get into. Did they specifically tell us what's in color and what's in black and white?
Yes, the black and white scene is mostly from Strauss's point of view, Robert Downey Jr.'s character. And the color sequences is flashbacks, Oppenheimer, and the current stuff.
So it is 2 movies.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Now I want to watch it again.
Oh, definitely.
I've thought about that. Like my mom was talking about like maybe wanting to go see it, and I was like, am I gonna go sit in the fucking crowded IMAX theater again for 3 hours? No fucking way.
Yeah.
Like,
But it doesn't feel like 3 hours. It don't feel like 3 hours.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Nick.
Yeah.
What formats did we all see it in? IMAX, obviously, Nick.
IMAX. I didn't get like millimeter or anything like that, but it was IMAX.
Basic bitch format.
He said basic.
Basic bitch format. Del Rio ain't getting nothing special.
Same here.
No, I saw it in the AMC by me. They have 70 millimeter, but just on a regular screen. But they also have IMAX, which is what I saw it on, the digital IMAX. And the IMAX 70 millimeter is sold out for 2 weeks by me. And like all the way to the front. But I the next time I see it, I'll let it simmer a bit to go see it in that. But yeah.
And David Dasmalchian, what a bitch.
He good at those characters though.
Yeah. Not the actor. The actor is in a lot of cool shit, but his character was a bitch.
Yeah.
What a bitches. I thought Benny Safdie was kind of a bitch. Matt Damon was.
He was
bitch, like end of it.
I think Safdie was a confrontational bitch, just trying to find the best possible outcome.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt. Me and her were on the same page.
Oh yeah.
Hey, bro, she was throwing glasses and shit.
Yeah.
Why won't you fight them?
Shake your hand.
Yeah.
Walks out. He kind of gives him the head nod. I mean, you're a bitch.
But like we were saying too, is like Nick said it. You're gonna eat for this scene. I just feel like Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt, especially them two. And Emily Blunt didn't have much screen time. Like she was on there, but that scene when she was getting interrogated, that alone, I was like, yep.
Oh, bro, she was killing. Even the old man in the corner was rocking with her.
Laughing,
Yep. She was killing Jason Clarke.
Great. But it was kind of like for a while, like her role was to be the
supportive wife.
And it was like, well, gotta be the upset wife. But then that role, she went bananas with kind of like her showcase scene. Everybody got to kind of do that.
And also that scene right
even Dane
there
DeHaan
showed you that no matter what he did to her, whether it was the infidelity and all that, she was always by his side and backed him.
Take the sheets
matter
down.
What?
She was like, fuck you people.
And that's why I said, like, Florence Pugh's character, like, even though they had that weird relationship, I feel like it's, sometimes it's not, right time, wrong place, or, right place, wrong time. And I felt like that's what happened with them too. But they were each other's, say, glue. Even though she didn't know what she wanted, he knew what he wanted with her. And then with the other ways, she knew what she wanted, but she was afraid to say it. But then when he told her that scene, that's it, we're done.
Yeah.
That was heartbreaking in a sense, even though it was the wrong choice to make in the sense of what they were doing. She knew, and that even when when that scene happened, when she ends up doing what she did, you saw what happened with him. She finds him in the woods crying, like he knew. And I think from that point on, Emily Blunt, like I said, no matter what he did to her, yes, they were married, but she was never his, how can I put it, his glue in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was Florence Pugh, and she still stuck by his side.
Sure, out of the woods, she said, you're a bitch. Don't be a bitch. He's like, all these other bitches, you can't be a bitch. Okay, you're right. You're right, McDuck. But they got everybody was like, they got Josh from Drake and Josh.
Josh Peck.
Josh Peck.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the guy that mans the button. You've got to be you're gonna be in every trick. Fucking Huey from The Boys. Like, you're gonna be one of the. Josh Hartnett. I haven't seen Josh Hartnett have this much to do in a long time. He was in this and
Operation Fortune would like a word.
Yeah, and it was Josh Hartnett.
He was in Wrath of Man too.
I guess he was kind of.
He said, "I can't."
Bro, but even fucking what's Dane DeHaan done in the last 5 years? Like he got a kind of a big role in this.
He was awesome. And everybody was a bitch. He was a bitch.
Just take a shot every time. But it's true though. It's like, man, you getting kind of pissed off in the movie theater. Like, man,
you're a bitch.
Everybody was combative. Like, it's the 40s. Like Matt Damon said, like, this is the most important thing in the history of the world. Like, everybody's on edge. Everybody has to have their word. Cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, and shout out to the trailer editing for that line with Matt Damon. Because in the actual movie, he dropped the F-bomb in it. I'm like, man, that's a good edit.
And it was funny in the movie.
Yeah. If there were any laughs in this movie, they came from Matt Damon. Zero. Yeah, I want zero.
They frame it like it's like this thing, like he said, in the movie, it's sort of goofy. Like he's
Yeah,
like,
but it pushes in, and because he kind of
yeah. What a good movie. Matt Damon. He's just. It's like he's doing really cool things over the last couple of years.
Jimmy Kimmel can suck it.
Like, it's kind of like Paul Rudd watching The Bourne Identity. I always thought he was
Streisand
rocking the shit in this one. It's like he's done this movie, and he did a movie called Stillwater a couple years ago that I feel like not a lot of people watched.
Pretty solid.
yeah.
Nope. Sure did not.
Right wing type of like everyman like guy, and I don't think of Matt Damon as that.
America.
I think of, and he plays the role like really naturally. Like it's not like over the top. Like he's not leaning into some weird accent or doing weird things or anything. Like he plays it real natural, and he did that again to me in Oppenheimer. Like you think of like who's like a hard ass right wing general who's going to come in and like be the opposite basically of Oppenheimer and his whole crew. And he did it it was real believable, just real like natural. He wasn't over the top.
Yeah.
At all. And that line that you're talking about is like, this is the most important thing. He didn't come off as like him having a soapbox moment or anything. Like it was just kind of like how that character would have reacted, being the polar opposite of these kind of like thinking men.
Scientists.
I feel like he's kind of like, I don't know. I kind of wish he would get some awards buzz for the movie. I hope he does.
Same.
Of all the years to not have, it's like, what are the odds they're going to have SAG awards this year? And it's like, of all the years not to have, you could have Barbie cast versus Oppenheimer cast, which is like, both of those have to get nominated. They have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
What beats Oppenheimer, though? I don't know. But they both have to get nominated, and it's like they probably aren't even going to do one.
Well,
So speaking of,
go ahead. Eric,
no, you're still on the movie. Go ahead, right?
I'm just gonna say is like I'm just excited. Whenever these strikes are over, once you're in a Nolan movie, you're part of the Nolan family when it comes to future movies. So I'm excited to see what Nolan's gonna try to do next, and who is he gonna now involve.
You got a long list to choose from.
Yeah.
He said, you to watch this movie, you would think that he'd been cooking this up for like ever. Like for his lifelong love was been the atom bomb, and he's been wanting to do this. This is his like project. Apparently, Robert Pattinson gave him a book of Oppenheimer quotes when they were making Tenet. And he was, wow, this is pretty fascinating. I'd like to make a movie out of this. And, like, it's made and out now. Like, that's the turnaround. We're talking 5 years absolute cap, like, tops. This has been in, like, his brain. And it's already, like, out and as good as it is. I think that's weird.
American Prometheus?
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Prometheus is about aliens. Whatever, dude. Let's break. And wrap it up after that. All right, we still on Oppenheimer. We want to talk some writers, actors strike. What are we gonna end with?
Talk about more Barbie.
I'm down.
Barbie. We didn't talk much about Barbie.
And he's just Nick.
Bro, I got a attention span of an ant. What you guys say, I'll probably forget by the time I go see the movie at 7:30.
Really, it's not like,
I don't think so.
There's people on Twitter, like, even with Oppenheimer, they're like, bro, spoilers. I'm like, what? Einstein's in the movie. Like, he's in the trailer.
He's in the trailer. If it's in the trailer, it's fair game.
Yeah, he's in every single trailer and commercial. Yeah. Come on.
This isn't the multiverse of madness where it's like, it's time for you to meet. Like, it's like, what?
No, bro, like...
Yeah.
There's actually the one scene where he's like a young senator voted no. His name is Kennedy.
Yeah. John F. Kennedy.
almost like that, but not really.
Yeah, it was in the promotion, but the beat you off gag is like one of the funniest things I'm going to see all year. I laugh at that shit every time I see it.
It's
I'm
just
hearing
the
this,
lame.
this is more for adults than it is for kids. That's what I'm hearing.
I do kind of struggle with
They draw the line.
why, like Barbie is PG-13, and in fairness, the trailers and stuff I've seen, like I wouldn't say it was necessarily marketed to children. It does make me kind of question though, why, because there's not a whole lot of PG-13 humor. If it had come out in the 90s, it probably would have just been PG as is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like that where it's like nobody's beaching anyone off. I'll beat you off right now. It does kind of, as funny as it is, it does make me kind of question like why? Like, was that worth the PG-13 rating? Like they just like we have to have a beat off gag.
Let's see. What is it? Oh, let me see.
Yo, but oh man,
Okay.
I forgot what I was gonna say now.
All right, PG-13 for suggestive references and brief language.
This is very suggestive.
Because she says that like when they're out skating,
Yeah.
eyes kind of hit on her. She just
Oh
said,
yeah, the cat calling.
and I don't have a vagina. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a little jarring for like if little kids are
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
but I would say it's
I have all the genitals.
Yeah. And like I said, it's the innuendo too. Like stuff we're giggling about, the children will have no idea.
Do little girls even play with Barbies today?
yeah.
Huh?
Like, Target say anything. I mean, Barbies are still huge. They have like their whole aisle. I'm sure they do. They
Okay.
have to.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah, but even like, well, yeah.
but they have to.
Rocket's
Even
got a
if they
super
don't, I
can
guess
right
their
behind
parents
him.
will introduce them to it.
Yeah, I was sitting beside like an elderly woman and who I can only assume was her daughter, who looked a little older too. And the vibe I was getting from them was that they, she had been collecting Barbies since like the 60s.
They were living
That was-
through America forever.
Flipping the movie. The movie can work for people on different levels.
But I tell you this, there's one big thing that you probably won't want to have spoiled for you, and it won't be by the time you see it, but we'll know what it is. It's a certain character that shows up midway through, then comes back, and you realize who it is.
Batman.
And but I tell you this, Nick and Randy, without giving away too much, when that character said their name, did y'all know who
Was
it
it-
was then?
What was the actor in an 80s sitcom?
Yeah.
I knew.
Did y'all know who the character was supposed to be?
Yeah.
I made an assumption. I was like, oh, they're important.
Yeah. Like I knew just who it was when they said the name. I'm like, oh, that's
They are.
Well, you're old. I mean, you were around when Barbie was created. Of course you knew.
That's wrong.
Damn.
Hey,
So
And
let
I
me
do
ask
what What's that?
from a playing devil's advocate, from a marketing tactic here, if from what I'm hearing is like this is more geared more towards adults than kids. Not
dude.
that kids can't come watch, but like Nick is saying, Barbie, one of the biggest dolls for little girls and all that. You would think if they marketed towards kids, this movie, the sales would go up in the toys department. If say a kid doesn't have a Barbie, but they want they're interested, they watch this. Do you see parents now maybe swaying the way the world is now? You blink the wrong way and someone's upset with you. It's do you see parents now the way the movie comes out? If they bring their kid, ooh, we're not going to get a Barbie. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's just
Honestly and truly, the most like inappropriate thing in the movie is the beach off joke.
Yeah.
okay.
The trailer came before Mario, which Mario was a kid's movie.
Kids movie, yeah.
Full of kids, and they played the trailer in front of Mario with the beat off thing, and I was like, okay, I guess we're and like that is the most PG-13 thing.
Right.
Okay.
But that's like I said, that's the genius of it. I would like to, like, from a child's point of view, they won't have any idea,
No,
Maybe.
they won't get it.
and that's
Hope they
the
will.
right. You hope they don't get it. But yeah, it's,
I still hope they
I
say it
think,
in front of their parents' friends.
And it's gonna be hilarious. A lot of kids are gonna be saying it.
Yeah.
That's probably going to happen. Like, little kids just laugh at things because other people are laughing, and then they'll go to daycare or whatever.
I'll beat you off. I'll beat you off.
Worth that? Was that scene, like, worth that potential
Yes.
fire? It was funny.
1,000,000 times yes.
And it makes sense to make, like, just a PG Barbie movie. It's who's to say? I don't know.
And like Nick mentioned, well, in private chat, the movie leans, it's the perfect balance, because I think the genius thing they did was not make it straightforward, an adaptation based on the property, the intellectual property, because that would have been too corny, or how would have been.
We would have loved the purpose.
Yeah. And I think the irony is a lot of people aren't going to see no Barbie. They think that's what it's going to be. They don't realize, first of all, a lot of people, oh my goodness, a lot of people don't know who Greta Gerwig is, which is sad.
Right.
And, I wanted to go see it just when that announcement was made. I don't care which way they were going. I wanted to see it just because of that. And the other writer, I forget his name, blanking.
Her dude, Noah Baumbach?
Yeah.
That's her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's good. I'm glad it's a hit. I'm glad both of the movies are a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. That's why I wish Merritt would have fucking made the show, because that was his. I didn't know he went to see it. Like, that was his. I'm not watching no Barbie. Like his kids. His kids are with their moms, so like he was by himself, and I guess he went with his girl, and then all of a sudden yesterday morning, I saw a Barbie, and it would have been like a good counter. Like the three of us that have seen it liked it. He wasn't as high on it.
Yeah,
it leaned into the campiness, and it's just like the people that were excited for the movie. It's not that it was just like, oh, girls are excited for this. It was the people came dressed up, doing all the shit. Like, they knew, like, they aren't dumb. They knew the kind of movie it was going to be. It wasn't just going to be a Barbie movie. It was real high camp, over the topness. And it was that, and the fact that it leaned into that is why I think it works, and it works for everybody. It up until now, there wasn't really a dialogue about, like, oh, men are gonna hate this. This movie's anti-man, because it isn't.
It's not.
It's
just not.
But like, the reason it really works for everybody is because it's so silly, kind of the way that the Barbie characters were in Toy Story.
Yeah.
They were so, it was so silly that they were, like, the unserious characters while everything was going on. It's like that. It's like a movie, like a 2-hour movie of that, where it's like, if you put them in the real world, like, you're going to have people that are like, fuck Barbie, like, fuck this.
Dude,
they do that with the campiness.
We're in a fucking time now where I feel like anybody that is getting offended by anything is going into that thing looking for something to be offended by.
Oh, for sure. Fuckhead.
That dickhead politician who dressed like Ken.
He had a notepad, and he was talking about my producer dragged me to the movie. It's like, go fuck yourself.
You're a grown man. No, you weren't dragged anywhere. You're getting dragged on Twitter.
Yeah. You're getting dragged. Got 1 million quote tweets and no likes. Go fuck yourself. It's like, no. It's one thing to not like a movie. I'm not saying everybody has to like it.
Yeah, for sure.
You could go to Barbie and critique it. Say that, this didn't work for me. Certain characters were unwritten for me. To me, the human characters were a little undercooked. She meets the little girl, and you kind of go in thinking that she's going to have this relationship with this little girl for this reason. Then it turns out that's not really the case. Then we don't really go back to the little girl or why she feels the way about Barbie that she feels. We don't really address that again.
That's what I loved about it. It was pushing like all the first 20, 30 minutes in Barbie Land was like all this like superficial, being perfect is the way, da 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 da. And then she meets the kid, and it completely goes left in the complete opposite Oh, that's really good.
You have to acknowledge that, and that's why I said doing a straightforward Barbie, Barbie's Race and Ride, like the way they put out those like Barbie movies on DVD.
Yeah.
Barbie's.
Do you own those?
Cruise. Like you couldn't just do that. A Barbie movie today and not acknowledge why people love Barbie and why certain people might hate Barbie, why they might think Barbie is problematic even though she's great. So the only way to do that is to counteract it with that just campiness, that over the top, just having a blowout party with all my friends and then everybody's just dancing while they're talking. Like you have to do that.
Did you memorize the choreography?
Yeah, and like the kids are like doing the thing and it's like, oh, they'll destroy themselves. Just them like doing rock, paper, scissors. Like that shit was hilarious. Like I'm sorry, like I was sitting there rolling laughing. You have
and now Rocket's seen the whole movie.
They take a shot at DC here. Like there's a line in the movie that they take a shot at DC.
We're just like, and it's very brief. Like I almost didn't catch it.
Yeah, I know the one. It's definitely, I'm like, wow, they did that, huh?
It was a little dig at like, it was more like the dude broness of
fandom
being their boy. It wasn't movie or anything like that. It's just more of like the dude broness of it all. Which
I'm
is
excited to see Steve Lou in this. That's why. So
yeah,
he was pretty great.
Yeah, and everybody in my theater laughed, and I was like, I had this feeling, and I was like, but I was like, you don't know what that means. I was like, you don't know what the Snyder Cut is. And I was like, am I being a dude, bro? Let me not say anything.
Was she talking about me?
I was like, wait, I that? Fuck.
Maybe we're done.
Yep.
Are we done?
Barbie.
What, I don't know. There's already been victims of the strike. Challengers got pushed back to April. Nick's favorite movie, like I said in the chat, White Bird, is already off the schedule.
Well, hell, Dune Part 2.
Yeah,
yep.
Have they announced Dune got pushed?
It's not official yet, but I think it's going to happen.
I know they're talking about Dune and Wonder Woman.
Rings of just Warner Brothers, like they're saying Dune,
Aquaman. I said Wonder Woman.
Purple,
Idiot.
But not Wonka. I'm like, why would you push Dune?
Whoa.
But not Wonka? But they've got the same fucking guy.
Do they have? Is Wonka, Aquaman, and The Color Purple all scheduled to come out within like 5 days of each other?
Yep.
Good thing they're all different genres.
Again, I say it's like, what the fuck is this world? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But whatever. Barbie's a
Yeah. Yeah, dude. This strike is gonna go. This strike might go the rest of the year. Like, who knows?
It's like they would rather fucking push the movies than even have the talk like that. From what I understand, the conversations aren't even happening right now.
What is it, Iger? When Iger announces his raise, the literal day before actors go on strike, like they know what they're doing. Like I showed y'all, when Universal cuts the trees, all the fucking leaves off the trees, studios don't get it. They just don't get it.
And this year in particular, when I feel like every episode we've done, every movie we've talked about has had an asterisk. Like where we're like, yeah, the Flash, we did a Flash episode where instead of talking strictly about the movie, a lot of it was like, that budget was fucking crazy. Like it's a flop because of its budget. And it's like, instead of talking about a new Indiana Jones movie, we're like, it's just a shame that it was such a flop because they were out of control. Even like the Fast and the Furious, like all these movies have just insane budgets.
Every studio.
This year in particular, and we're always talking about like streaming and all this stuff, how there's just so much to choose from. You got actors that aren't seeing a dime for it. I mean, there was that girl, these girls that were on Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, to get part-time jobs.
Yeah.
Pennies in residuals for that show that everybody watched. Everybody watched that show. And they were like 6 seasons of it.
Like Eric said though earlier. Eric said what? You said the budget for Oppenheimer was $100 million.
Yeah.
And you have these world-class actors who have won Academy Awards, been nominated, all that, and you can make a 3-hour movie with, I know it had some CG in it and all that, but for $100 million, and look at the actors. I mean, like I said, world-class actors, and yet, as much as I love Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones was $300 million. Like, well, what's going on here? It's like it makes no sense. And the Fast 10, I mean, that was just
Your seat
it was
bills.
like Oprah was on there. $20 million, you get a $20 million check, and you get it's like that's the thing. It's like Vin Diesel was just handing out checks like it was candy, and that's the thing is that's where Universal and these studios they could blame the actors, the writers, and all that, but they need to blame themselves. They're the ones that tell people, you want to make a movie with us? Here is what you get. I don't care how good the franchise is. If you don't like it, there you go.
It's like, in most ways, it's like, okay, we talked, I think we were recording, but we talked about how much everybody on Oppenheimer made. Is say Matt Damon, what he made, like $4 million. And we're like,
3.
oh, Matt Damon. It's like, you make $4 million. You can survive on $4 million for a couple months. Like, let's say that's all the money you have to your name, and it's not if you're Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Or Tom, or anybody like that who makes that kind of money. That's why you aren't really seeing actors like that, and I think it's a good thing. A lot of people are calling out, like Tom Cruise and all these people, like, you should be on the picket line or whatever. They aren't the face of what this strike is. It's the people who are only getting paid so much for, being part of the ensemble cast of Orange is the New Black. You're getting paid so much to be on this one episode of Black Mirror, and here you go. And then your residuals, no matter how much you make, no matter how many people watch your episode of Black Mirror that you wrote or that you were in, no matter how many people watch it, you're only going to make, here's a dime for every time somebody watches it, or here's a dime for every 100 streams or some shit. It's really that low. Like, it's insane how low it is. And it's the people like that who are relying on the residual to keep, like, their health insurance through SAG. It's those people that are striking. It's those people who are like, I can't fucking live. It's like, yeah, you can make Mission Impossible 25, then everybody who's in that is fine, and it's all part of the deal. But it's mostly through streaming that these people aren't. I mean, they're making like nothing. Like, even people like Drake will post his residual checks for like Degrassi will be like 25 cents. It's like, I'm fine, but if he were relying on his Degrassi residuals to keep, his health insurance, to keep his SAG card and keep working, he couldn't do it. And so,
and it's like Sean Gunn called out specifically. A lot of people have problems with Netflix and the advantage of the system that they took. Sean Gunn was talking about Gilmore Girls, which is one of the most popular retro shows on Netflix. And he's talking about they hardly see anything, and even the star of the show. But it's and then you got goofballs out there like, I really don't care about these actors. They rich, and this is what we're talking about. Like, all of these actors are Tom Cruise, and making that type of money.
That's why they aren't. It's like, yes, they need to speak out against it, and most of them are. I've heard that Tom Cruise been like in the room trying to have, but it's like they aren't the face of it. So I think to have them out there, it would just be like, let's get a picture of Tom with the sun.
It'll be a distraction. You won't be focusing on the case and what it is. But yeah, Netflix really needs to do something. They took full on it. Nobody knew what streaming was going to be. Yeah. And therefore you can't put things into contracts. You can't predict the future if you don't know what it is. And Netflix knew that. They're like, oh, let's protect ourselves, and if anybody's smart, we'll maybe throw them a little something.
Yep.
There's billions. Like Bob Iger can get on there and talk about how these expectations are unrealistic. They're just unrealistic. Or somebody from Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix in particular, they could be like, these are just unrealistic.
Hey, Nick, you know where he said that?
Yeah, at the billionaire
Retreat.
retreat.
These
At
are
the billionaire retreat. Yeah.
look at Netflix. For them to have a show like Guild on Netflix probably cost them money out of the ads. It was like
For sure.
Cost them how much a month or whatever to keep Friends on there for as long as they did, and The Office, probably Breaking Bad, probably The Walking Dead, shows that everybody watches on Netflix, probably cost them insane amounts of money. And then the actors and the writers and everybody involved with those shows don't see shit for how much it's being streamed on Netflix, and they're just like, well, there's nothing we can do.
Well,
And it's like,
when you give
Netflix,
Adam Sandler all your extra fucking money to go make the ridiculous 6.
that's it. Netflix
idiots.
puts out like 50 new things a week, things that they don't even market,
Yeah.
things that they get rid of and cancel. And it's like, we don't need the Kissing Booth 6. Like, you don't need to keep over and over and over. It's like, spend less on your own bullshit that you barely market.
Yeah.
And if you invest so much in having shows like Gilmore Girls and The Office on there, it's like, see to it that that money is going to its proper avenues instead of just like funneling it into other shit that I don't even see. I'm like, why am I even seeing the British Bake Off or like whatever rip off of that they have on there? I'm like, how did you afford this if you have no more writers? You know?
Yeah, no, that's BS because the one that they were talking about that got brought up a lot, yes, the creator of Squid Game, I think they paid him 15 or 20 million. Nice payday.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how much money did Squid Game generate in revenue for Netflix?
Yeah,
A lot more.
billion.
900 million, basically $1 billion.
A
Let's
lot
round
more.
up, goddammit.
Yeah.
You think of all the merchandising and shit, people walking around in Squid Game shirts and Stranger Things fucking shirts.
Right.
You know, just, you know, you think of this song like Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. It's like a 40-year song. It was someone's idea to put that song in that show. And it's like that person got paid to write the episode and probably nothing else. They're like,
Yeah.
That's it.
Congratulations, you're going to make sense for the rest of your life off this episode. And it's like, how much has that song blown up in the last year, like 1 year, 365 days? That song's on the radio.
And artists
Like,
don't get shit off streaming residuals either.
Yep.
like,
Nope.
yeah, you think of all the shit that has generated, and all of that profit, everything is just Netflix. Like, whoever is in charge of Netflix, whoever is show running Stranger Things, and it's just like, that's wrong. Like, it's like black and white. Like, you're looking at it, it's like, well, it's a complicated issue. It's like, it really isn't. Like, you look at it,
No, and that's the thing. Like, I think the way there's two ways the writers can make money. Either A, if you don't want to do residuals, fine, pay them whatever you're paying them to write an episode, double the wage, or do something to that. Or you want residuals? Okay, you're not going to get off the streams. You get it in the ancillary department where whatever we make on products, whether it's shirts, toys, posters, whatever, you got to pay these people, because without these writers, you have no show.
Already, the writers and the actors need the dude's mom who sung for Simba in The Lion King to go in there and negotiate, because he's still getting paid off of that shit.
Yeah, he's still getting the bag.
Michael Jordan's mom, like, at the end of air, said, oh, I'm assuming this was just an oversight. He's going to see money for every pair sold, right? And they just said, fuck it. It was like they took it was a gamble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, look how lucrative it has been for all involved. It's like,
you can still protect
Exactly.
yourself as the
Nike
the
getting
entity.
paid, Michael Jordan getting paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the movie Air covered a lot. They didn't cover. Jordan had to hit certain incentives, and he hit them +3.
You know, it's a triple fold.
and it's like, you could be like, okay. But Netflix can't roll the
Joe
dice
Pesci.
on everything that they do. Not every Stranger Thing. It's like, okay, true. But again, I say, nobody is telling them to put out 1 billion things a year. Where just 10 years ago, they had 2 shows. They had House of Cards and Orange is the New Black, and they were like, all right, let's see how they do. Now it's every week they put out some shit that they barely mark. They cloned Tyrone Friday. Is anybody talking about it?
Oh, that's out.
Yep.
Exactly. Point,
There we go.
point proven.
I'm being serious.
Point proven.
Oh,
Is
shit.
it top 10 movies on Netflix right now? I don't know. Who would know that a
No.
new movie, Jamie Foxx
Due date
and
is.
John Boyega is out right now? It's like
Yeah.
every billion things. It's like nobody
Right.
told you that that's what you need to do.
And look at the random movies that do be top 10, like Grown Ups and Rush Hour.
Due date.
Due date.
Yeah, do that.
It's like Plus is not even making profit off their shit. So it's like, why are you
That's
still
crazy.
countless things? Nobody told you had to make the movie about the kids flip spoon, whatever the fuck that was.
That they've already
But
removed.
You chose to make it. You chose to make it with the actors, the writers, and everything like that. You have to do it right. You have to pay them. You can't just spend all that money, blow it, put it on there, and then get rid of it in 2 months so you don't have to pay residuals on it. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's like lawsuit worthy, in my opinion. It's like you're lucky that there is just a strike
It's
going.
not.
Nobody's
I
telling
mean-
you these things. You're choosing to do them.
I mean, unless something gets resolved, and I think even whenever this does get resolved, you know, we're used to, like, you know, NBC, CBS, like broadcast television. You know, they got like Friends. They're making residuals whenever that shit's on there. Now, on the contract, you know, when Netflix had them, were they making residuals even though it would be showed on Netflix? You know, we don't. Yeah, exactly. So my thing about it is I think even once this is done, the writers are gonna have to, which sucks, you know, but this is the business. They're gonna have to waive stuff that they want just to get this going. You know, you gotta pick and choose your fights. They're gonna get certain things, but I think going forward, if it's like and that's the thing, is it right now, from what I'm hearing, the poster child for the streaming services is Netflix. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So if it's like, say you do a streaming, say, show on Peacock, which is terrible, but Peacock, like the name of the streaming service is terrible. You know, that's NBC.
Universal.
That's still like a major broadcasting company. Are they doing residuals for them, even though it's a streaming service, but it is NBC? You know, like CBS Plus or whatever the heck, are they doing? You know, because that is a broadcasting service. It's just
I think it's fall
whatever-
under Paramount.
Yep. Oh, they are. Okay. So my thing is, like, from what I'm hearing, Netflix is the sticking point because they don't want to pay nobody. But yet, like Nick's saying, stop putting out. First off, it's shitty content when you're putting out 50 million things out, and then, like Stranger Things, if writers on those shows and Orange is, you know, New Black and all that, if you don't want to pay them residuals, great. Either pay them double their salary, or pay them a little bit more, and then they get residuals off the ancillary stuff, off the T-shirts, off the. They don't. Now I see why they don't make Blu-rays. Netflix don't put shit on physical no more. It's that's
they
why
cheat.
they don't want to do anything. So that's how this has to come to a head, because you got to pay the writers. Without them, you have no shows, you have no nothing. And
Yeah.
right now, we're not feeling the effect of it now. Like Eric's saying, they're thinking about pushing Doom to 2024. The movie's already made. I think just release the movie, but it's Denis Villeneuve. You know, they have to have that marketing where the actors come out on the red carpet, that whole, you know, all that. Sooner or later, we're gonna hit a part next year where it might be months where nothing comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm fine
Yeah,
with that.
it's gonna catch up.
But, like, it's like, obviously I don't want that. But it's like, I lived through 2020. I've done it. You know, I had never seen, you know, pushbacks on that level. Nobody really has. It was like, wow, they pushed back. Didn't get
And
it.
not only are the writers,
I'm prepared for it now.
the writers are gonna pay the price, you know, and all that. Like us right now, we're not paying it. What it's gonna kill is the movie theaters, because sooner or later, remember, movie theaters are just now recovering from the pandemic to go back into something similar.
Yeah.
And
That's not good.
studio fat cats don't care.
No.
As long as like, Warner Brothers isn't going anywhere. Disney, even if there's talks that they're going to sell Disney to Apple or whatever, the average person won't know that. Disney's not going anywhere. But it's like, yeah, it might shutter your movie theater. Whoever fucking wrote whatever your favorite episode of The Mandalorian probably can't eat this month. But it's like the average person doesn't know it. It's like that's their bottom line. They're like, well, fuck it. But it's like
whether this streaming is going to kill the movie theaters, yeah, not in a good way because of all this bullshit.
Yeah, not in you got shows like Build, even like Grey's Anatomy, shows like that are so popular. They still play on network television all the time.
Yeah.
Friends on any given channel, any given day, like you can find Friends reruns. Those actors and writers and everybody are making money off that until they die forever.
Yeah.
But it's these shows that came on streaming, these shows that only exist now on Hulu that aren't around anymore. And it's like they don't release any of their data. It's like, how do you know how many people watched Orange is the New Black season 4 this week? It could be millions of people. We don't know. And it's like, they're like, oh, it's impossible to say. You can't possibly pay anyone. And I just feel like it's like, figure it out.
Yeah, they know.
They know.
They know.
They don't want to tell us.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Remember, how do they know what's on the top 10 list of Netflix?
Yeah, because they
It's
know
the
motherfuckers
numbers.
watching. Because they know if they put the numbers out, some nerd out there will do the math and then and then put a number out exactly how much everybody should be making.
They're out there about how, you got people saying direct quotes. They're like, this dude used to brag about how Orange is the New Black got more viewers than Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that, actually. It's like, no way. No, I 100% believe that. I believe that The Boss Baby 2 probably gets more streams on Netflix than Game of Thrones. Like, people are on Netflix all the time. They're like, oh, it's impossible. It's possible to know. It's like, this is your shit. You monopolized home viewing. Like, you did it. In like 10 years, you completely changed the game. But it's like, it's on you to figure it out. Or it's like, they're just going to strike. Like, they've had it with that shit.
Yeah. But I think this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
If you've seen Barbie, if you've seen Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, drop a comment, let us know what you thought. Next episode, if it's up to me, I'm kind of going to want to nerd out over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but topic still in the air. Just know we'll be back in 2 weeks. I'll be back to wrap up this episode, bitch. Reg League. Yo. Fuck with me and get folded like paper planes. Y'all just want to talk about your feelings like you Fraser Crane. Thinking you Destiny's Child, but don't nobody say your name. I got actual talent. Y'all just want attention. We ain't the same. No IRS smoke, I'm making payments first. But after that, I am balling like Jalen Hurts. Y'all can't read between the lines, gotta say it first. Nor do y'all stretch out, so when you strain it hurts. Time for you pussies to be spayed like David. All the damn advertising you do when you naked. Now all the getting fucked you do, you can take it. Whack rappers just pray that my sick flow is contagious. Lames don't know the words, but like the song sing. I love the era that raised me. My vibe's still tall T, long T. I want championships, all the rings, like I'm Shang-Chi. You heard somebody spit fire, just know that is all me. And chill until the next episode.